All right, we made it to race day. We got a few hours left. I just got back from being out of town, had a wedding to go to this weekend, hence not really being able to get any Xfinity content out yesterday and no Truck Series video. But hey, I'm finally back. I'm about to build some lines for the Cup Series race. I'm trying things a little bit different today. Instead of posting the sheet to Twitter to X, I'm just going to post this video. Hopefully, we get some more followers, some more viewers over here, and ultimately, some more subscribers. So I'm going to test it out for today's slate and probably get back to normal next weekend. But how can you help us? Liking, commenting, sharing, retweeting our content allows us to reach more people. If you normally just click on the spreadsheet and you're new here on the YouTube channel, we also make these breakdown videos. So just hit the subscribe button, means a lot to us. Slowly but surely, we're getting up to 1,000. If you want access to the spreadsheet, you can get it over on X. And then, hey, if we helped you out in the weekend, you just want to say thanks. There's a couple of different links there to do so. So getting to today's race, we got 240 laps. Gateway is kind of unique. We are running the intermediate package on the cars this weekend, but it's kind of like a short, flat track almost. I mean, it's not really a short track. It's 1.3 miles in length, but it almost races kind of like a short track, but just how flat the corners are. So, heavy braking, it's all about, getting your car to rotate, getting a good launch off of, the off turn 4, off turn 2, to really, give yourself a run down the long straightaway. So typically you don't see a ton of cautions here. Track position is really key, being able to pass cars on pit road. And the biggest thing is kind of the unknown factor. We had practiced yesterday with rain in the area that kind of threw everyone together, which was nice. However, the temperatures today are much warmer and hotter than what they were yesterday, almost like 15, 20 degrees warmer. So you think you can rely on practice. I'm certainly going to rely on practice, but it'll be kind of interesting to see how those teams adjust. So getting to the slate, it's interesting, especially given the front row. We'll kind of get there. So at the expensive range up here, you got Hamlin, Larson, Blaney, Truex, Byron, and Bell. And just in a nutshell, generally speaking, Penske and JGR look like the plays you want to focus on this week. Chevy, Hendrick, Trackhouse, they were okay, but when you were trying to figure out who those dominators are going to be, who those lap leaders, who can get fast laps, it really looks like it's going to come out of the Penske or JGR stable this weekend. So you got Hamlin and Blaney are probably my two favorite plays today to lead laps. If you're just trying to find one lap leader or two lap leaders, I think Hamlin and Blaney are your safest bets. Hamlin has been just really good all year long. On almost every single race he gets out front, he leads laps. He looks like he has a car to do that again today. He's good on pit road. He starts sixth through his really great track position. He was the fastest car in the 15 and the 20 lap averages in practice. A lot to like there. The only thing that's hard is his price tag. So it does limit you a little bit. But again, it's really easy to build a line with Hamlin and Blaney together, or one or the other. Larson is expensive. He starts 13th. I'm just really not getting the Larson a lot. Like, I still think he's going to run well. Maybe with the warmer track temps, maybe they set up for that and they're going to be better today. But even looking at 2022, 2023 at Gateway, Hendrick just, for whatever reason, just doesn't really show up here at these tracks. So I'm going to kind of lean that way. It's still Kyle Larson. It's still a Hendrick Motorsports car. He's still going to be good. I just don't know if he's going to have as much upside as Hamlin and Blaney do. So for that reason, I'm probably going to be under the field on not only Larson, but probably all the Hendrick cars today. Really like Blaney. Blaney, really, really good here. Penske's really good here. He starts third, so he's a little bit further towards the front of the field. If he can get around Cindric, if he can get around McDowell, most likely he's going to maintain and hold on to the lead. He was pretty fast on the 5 lap, 10 lap, 15, 20 lap averages as well. So there's a lot pointing towards, Blaney to go his way. And then with starting third, he also has a really good pit stall, which should also, help him. Truex, I like too. I'm going to lean more on Hamlin and Blaney just for the lap leading upside, but say only one of them leads laps. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe it's Hamlin. Maybe you pair Hamlin with Truex. Truex gives you some place differential upside. And if we have more of a single, lap leader type of build, um, say Hamlin starts sixth and finishes fourth, but doesn't lead any laps, like, yeah, it's going to be a good day. But if Blaney goes out there and leads, 140 plus laps, obviously you're going to want Blaney in your line and then trying to pair him with drivers who can score well. So maybe, you pair Blaney with the Truex. Truex starts 19th, finishes fifth or something like that, picks up some fast laps along the way. That's going to work out pretty nicely for you. William Byron just really not getting there a ton, kind of like Kyle Larson. Again, it's still William Byron. It's still Kyle Larson. I don't think you can ignore them. I still think you should get ownership if you're building multiple lines. But if you're just building one line or maybe three lines, I don't really think you need to go there. Christopher Bell, I like him. I don't mind him. I just prefer Hamlin and Blaney over Bell, but Bell is right there, solid GPP option. He can very easily get out front and lead laps. Reddick, I would probably put him a tick behind Bell. Decent times in practice. He was up there. He's just kind of expensive. For me, I'd much rather lean on Hamlin and Blaney and Truex, and then probably Bell before I get to Reddick, but I don't mind Reddick as a tournament play. Really just not getting to Brad Keselowski a lot today either. The RFK cars have been good as of late, but I don't know if they're going to have the ability to get out front and lead laps, and they don't really give us place differential, or at least Keselowski doesn't, give us place differential upside. Really like Joey Logano. Um, you know, pretty much should have started in the top 10. He should have made the second round. Excuse me. He should have made the second round of qualifying. Got a little bit loose in that qualifying run. Really, really good here. Penske's good here. Really good on the 5 lap and 10 lap average. He was actually the quickest car. So I like the price tag. So I like building around, like I said, I like the Penske cars, I like the JGR cars. Trying to get as many Penske and JGR cars in your lineup is probably the way to go. Don't have a voice from the wedding. Geez. Um, Elliott, he's fine. He gives you a little bit of place differential upside. Again, just not really a lot of practice or not really a lot of upside on those practice times. Now, Kyle Busch has been really good here. He led a ton of laps in 2022. He led a lot of laps in 2023. However, RCR has just been struggling a lot of late. Recent performance is not good. His practice times were okay. His price tag is pretty attractive there, but again, it's hard for me to trust Kyle Busch in any of the RCR drivers right now. Ty Gibbs is $8,600. He starts ninth. Pretty good value play. Most likely he's going to stay inside the top 10 all day long. Probably going to pick up some fast laps. If that team can get a right adjustment or he can get the lead off pit road, he's most likely going to maintain the lead. So again, more of a value option there. Someone who's probably going to stay inside the top 10. Chris Buescher didn't really have great practice times, but he gives you some place differential upside, and you're going to need some place differential plays in your lineups, opposed to just solely building around drivers up front. So he's going to be one of those place differential upside options. Chastain, not really getting there a ton. Again, just recent performances have been decent. But for whatever reason, when he gets to stage 3, he just isn't getting the finishes that he normally that are indicative of how he's running during the race. So that's my concern there. I like Alex Bowman. If any of the Hendrick cars, I'm probably going to play Bowman the most, just because of his price tag and where he starts. He's kind of easy to fit into lines versus if you're playing Larson or Byron, you're most likely sacrificing a Hamlin or Blaney or Bell or Logano, to get there. Versus if you're playing Bowman, you can still get to those plays up top and build with Bowman in there. And Bowman's been running pretty well too. Get a lot of top 10 finishes as of late. Not really going to pop off in practice, but for $8,000, getting a Hendrick Motorsports car, kind of like the same argument you can make for Ty Gibbs, like, JGR car for $8,600. I'm always going to take, the value there. And then getting to the 7K range, Bubba Wallace is kind of in the same boat as Ty Gibbs and Alex Bowman. Most likely going to stay towards the front half of the field. He just starts a little far forward, so I prefer Bowman over Wallace just with the place differential upside that Bowman has, but I don't mind the times that Wallace showed in practice and qualifying. Gregson, Briscoe, Barry, even Parise, all look pretty much like identical plays. Their practice times were very similar. maybe you lean on Josh Berry and Ryan Preece just because of the place differential upside and the price savings that they give you, but they're all going to project relatively about the same. Eric Jones, I'm really just not getting there a ton. Really wasn't that great in practice. Starts a little bit too far forward for me. Daniel Suarez, pretty bad qualifying effort. It's going to be tough to envision him dropping further in the field. So again, maybe you can't pay up for Chris Buescher. Maybe you can't get to Gregson or Briscoe. You need some cheaper place differential options. I think you can come down to Suarez and Priest. And then you would kind of get to the front row. So you got Michael McDowell and Austin Cindric up there. Between the two of them, I'm going to prefer McDowell. McDowell, clean air is king, and he has the clean air. And with his price, he's probably not going to finish first. He's probably not going to win this race, but if he goes out, he leads, even if it's 30 laps in stage one and gets you an 8th, 12th place finish. Like that's pretty decent value for, his price tag, especially compared to, the other drivers he's competing against. Or, he goes out there and leads the entirety of stage one, maybe even more than that. That's going to be really, really good for his price tag. And he backed it up. I mean, he was fast in practice. He showed it in qualifying, twice, even getting to the second round. So there's a lot of speed in that front row motorsports, 34 machine. So I'm going to lean on McDowell. Todd Gilliland, kind of the opposite. He's more of the safe option, starts 35th, most likely aren't going to lose any points from playing Todd Gilliland. Maybe you think Blaney or Hamlin or Bell, one of those drivers up front takes over and just leads the bulk of stage one. Well, Todd Gilliland's a great option there for you to get some place differential upside. Not getting to Austin Dillon. Austin Cindric, I think, is interesting. I think McDowell has a way higher chance of leading laps, or I think Ryan Blaney can most likely get under Cindric and get around him. But Cindric's up there, and he showed good times. I mean, he almost won the pole. So, there's a scenario where you can get Austin Cindric out front leading laps for, $6,200. And it's kind of the same situation as McDowell. Like, he doesn't have to do amazing at this price. Like, if he goes out, gets you 30 laps, led, picks up some fast laps along the way and gets you a, 8th to 12th place finish or something like that, it's still going to score pretty well compared to, maybe playing Corey LaJoie or something that starts 15th and finishes 18th, or playing, Ricky Stenhouse, who starts 24th and finishes 19th. Like, I'd much rather take the upside that Cindric and McDowell offers in tournaments than, kind of just playing it safe. But for me, I really like McDowell the most, and then I probably would go to Gilliland and then probably Cindric after that. Stenhouse showed decent times. I don't mind going there. Same with Hocevar. I think more of a tournament option. And then I'm really not getting to anyone under Carson Hocevar except for Zane Smith, just depending on how aggressive you want to get up top. Zane Smith showed decent practice times, but really he starts DFL. So as long as he finishes the race, every single position that he gains is one place differential point. We know some drivers most likely are going to have issues or wreck out, DNF. So he's more of just kind of a pure attrition play. So for me, I really like this slate. I think it's kind of wide open. I think there's, multiple ways you can build. Are you building with, Michael McDowell as your primary lap leader in stage one and then trying to build around him? Are you fading, McDowell and Cindric on the front row and going straight to Blaney and Hamlin? Are there other options? What combination of those plays are going to work out? So that's what I'm going to be spending my next, 2.5 hours doing is building lines, entering lineups. But hopefully this was helpful. If it is, dropping a like on the video, commenting, subscribing means a lot to us. Next weekend, we'll try to get back to normal with the spreadsheets and the videos for everybody. But thanks for tuning in. Good luck building lines. Have fun watching the race today, and we'll catch you next time.